really fun playground elements where you're bouncing on things, you're jumping on things.
So, anyone else wondering why we're collecting moons this time? Hey everyone, Gaijin Goomba here. You know, I said in my top 5 E3 games of 2017 over on my channel, and I'll say it again here. I am absolutely floored at just how much material Mario Odyssey has been giving me over the course of the last few months. The game isn't even out yet, and I have like 4 different video ideas on this game alone. From brand new characters like Cappy to entire level designs like the Sand Kingdom, this game is giving me no end of material to work with. But in my haze of scouring every blade of grass for cultural references in Mario's newest 3D romp to save Peach, high in the sky was sitting one of the greatest cultural references in Mario Odyssey that I completely overlooked. Even during my time at E3, I never once stopped to ask myself, so why are we collecting moons this time around? I mean, yeah, the Mario MacGuffin could be anything at this point and we'd still play the game, but we're the Game Theorists channel. We've proven time and time again that Nintendo loves hiding cultural and canonical hints in their game, and these Lucky Charm marshmallows are absolutely no different. But only a few days ago, my question was answered. See, I was hashing out some ideas for the Sand Kingdom when a good buddy of mine, the Lonely Goomba, made some interesting observations on Twitter. Typically, LG focuses on his cynical videos of his never-ending torture being trapped between 2 pipes playing games for the rest of his life, but what he had to say really turned my head. The moon is pretty much in every level. It's in the song lyrics, you collect moons, it's about the moon. And sure enough, holy crap, was he right!
Oh, we can zoom all the way to the moon. Oh, this great wide wacky world. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah!
Every single level from New Donk City to the Sand Kingdom to the Wooded Kingdom to even this undescript black and white world of hats, that frickin' moon is everywhere. And let's not forget at the end of Odyssey's E3 trailer, what is it that the camera pans up to as the title rolls? The moon. We can also assume what gameplay and explanation we got from the Nintendo Treehouse that the objective of each stage is to collect as many moons as possible to power up your ship, the Odyssey, to travel to the next location. And judging from the theming of the MacGuffins, the levels, and the trailers, our final destination to confront Bowser, ruin his wedding, and save Peach is on the moon itself. But seriously though, why? What's so great about the frickin' moon? Okay, granted it does provide additional light and gravitational normality for the Earth, but it's literally a giant crater-filled rock. You'd think Bowser, having intergalactic travel at his fingertips, would have something far better in mind for his grand wedding, right? Well, here's the thing about that. As previously stated, Nintendo loves working in a lot of cultural nods, particularly East Asian nods into a lot of their character and world designs. And while to the west the moon was never really anything all that special to begin with, to the east and all over the east, the moon was a home to the holy and the divine. Case in point is one of Japan's most time-honored folk stories, the tale of Princess Kaguya. To make a very, very long story short, once upon a time an elderly bamboo cutter found a tiny regally dressed girl sprout up from one of the bamboo stalks he was cutting. Believing the child to be of the gods, he and his wife raised the girl as one of their own, and when she was of age, began introducing her to the royal lifestyle she was destined to have. Such a lifestyle included 12 layers of dress, royal stoicism, lackluster all-talk potential suitors, and pretty much every stuffy, pompous stereotype that lifestyle brought. However, Kaguya, being the witty girl that she was able to shrug off or get out of the numerous annoyances that came with being a regal woman in the 1500s in Japan. That was up until the Emperor himself made his own advances on Kaguya. She had nothing to save her except calling out for help from her one true home, the moon. Yeah, apparently there was some kind of celestial war going on at the time, and the heavens sent their moon princess to Earth in a bamboo stalk to be looked after while things were resolving. Anyway, it was only a matter of days before the Buddhist holy folk of the moon came to take Princess Kaguya back to her original home, much to Kaguya's dismay, who wanted to stay with her foster family. But in the end, the heavenly beings placed a feathered mantle on her, making her forget all of the troubles of the mortal world and returned her back to her celestial home. Yeah, it's not exactly a story with the happiest ending, but it does go to show that for Japan, the home of Nintendo, the moon is a far more wondrous and holy place. Now, after hearing all that, I know there are some of you that are still a bit dismissive about this theory, and trust me, for a while I was too. But there's one new element to this game that utterly seals the deal when it comes to the importance of the moon in Mario Odyssey. Bowser's new hired henchmen, the Brutals. Oh yeah, for a while I was scratching my head as to why in the world Mario is fighting anthropomorphized rabbits in his new game, and more so why these new enemies had any connection to this moon theory. But here's the thing, and something else that good old Lonely Goomba pointed out. In multiple cultures, rabbits are the symbol of the moon. I'm sure a lot of my cultural savvy viewers already have an idea of what I'm talking about too. A lot of you are probably saying, oh yeah, the shadow of the moon is actually a rabbit making mochi for reasons. But there is way more to it than simply that. In fact, for China, the role of the rabbit of the moon plays an utterly critical role for its gods and goddesses. Okay, so in order for gods and goddesses in China to retain their immortality, they need a pill of the elixir of life every 1,000 years to stay ageless. The Jade Emperor's celestial medicine man, Wu Gong, was recently sentenced to an eternity of chopping down a tree for giving immortality pills to mortals, so he needed a new mixer. But fearing humans were too corruptible, he sought out the honesty and trustworthiness of an animal. After finding a group of particularly good-natured animals, a monkey, a fox, and a rabbit, who were all for one reason or another good chumps, the Jade Emperor sent an aide to Earth to pose as a starving old man. Once the animals found the man, they wasted no time in gathering food for him. The monkey found various fruits, while the fox found cassavas and other edible roots. The rabbit, though, having no ability to find food for the man, instead threw itself into the fire so that the man could eat him. But instead of letting the rabbit get roasted, the man revealed himself to be that of a god, and touched by the rabbit's virtue, took him to heaven to become the new celestial medicine mixer. But not all was well for the newly named White Jade Rabbit, as the Queen Mother of the West approached and bullied it into giving her extra immortality pills, for which she turned around and gave to mortals, the exact problem that the Jade Emperor had in the first place. Furious, the Jade Emperor confronted the Jade Rabbit, who threw himself at his mercy. Willing to grant lenience though, the Jade Emperor told the rabbit that it could choose its own punishment. To which the Jade Rabbit suggested that it should live with the goddess of the moon, Chang'e, in the Lonely Moon Palace, where it continues to make medicine for the gods to this very day, isolated away so it could never be abused again. And if you think this might just be some kind of coincidence, have a look at the fight against Harriet, the Lady Brutal of the group. It looks like she just puts on some kind of helmet going into battle, but look again, she actually sucks herself up into it and flies around dropping bombs as a freaking UFO. If that doesn't scream out, hey y'all, I'm from space, I don't know what would. So yeah, Bowser, in his never-ending arsenal of technology and magic, has now apparently employed celestial demigods of the moon to stop Mario from foiling his plans. Lord only knows what he's got Chang'e doing for him. And before anyone gets up in arms that this is just another isolated weeb theory, let me reiterate that the legend of the Moon Rabbit extends beyond the whole of East Asia. In fact, there are tales from the indigenous Aztec that tell the same story. Except instead of an aide of the Jade Emperor, it was the god Quetzalcoatl in human form that was starving. As a young rabbit offered himself to him, he responded with, "You may be just a rabbit, but everyone will remember you. There is your image in light for all people and for all times." With that, he imprinted the image of the rabbit on the moon to commemorate its selfless action. In fact, you want to know how seriously a lot of the world takes the tale of the Moon Rabbit? During the history-making trip to the moon by Apollo 11 back in 1969, Houston told Buzz Aldrin himself to keep an eye out for Chang'e and the Jade Rabbit. I know it's only speculation, but we are the game theorists after all. And with all things considered, the moon big and bright in literally every level, the lyrics of Mario Odyssey's theme talking about traveling to the moon, the fact that you're collecting moon pieces in order to travel, and finally the inclusion of the brutal bunny bosses and their UFOs of doom, I can't help but think we're gonna need Rosalina to back us up in her space station, cause by the looks of it, we're gonna be well on our way to a lunar final showdown with Bowser. But thanks for watching, everyone. You know, I don't think I've ever mentioned my social media on these end cards. So, if you want to be up to the minute on what I'm working on, or when I'm streaming, or if you want to see what manner of trash I post when I'm bored, you can follow me at Gaijin Goomba. Same goes for all of the times I'm Twitch streaming, as well as my own channel where I post even more cultural analysis content that I probably think too hard about. But hey, if that sounds boring, check out my video talking about how Princess Peach, the most do-nothing character in the Mushroom Kingdom, is actually a powerful Shinto goddess. Or you can watch MatPat talk about the science of chicken nuggets breaking your fall. Seriously, Matt, you play some weird games. But until next time, everyone, this is Gaijin Goomba, signing out.